Hello and welcome back to another video from Open Mic UK and our artist development tutorial. Today I'm going to help you get the most out of Spotify. Spotify is a great place for you to distribute your content. Get it out there, get people to find you, but you have to submit it to them in the right fashion. You need song title, artworks, lyrics, release date, name of the EP, the songwriters, the stores that you wish it submitted to, the band name, or of course the artist name, the genre, and the price that you wish to charge. Now, if you're independent, this can be a little harder than normal, but if you use an aggregator, you can push this from another service into Spotify, and then it will spread it out for you. Kind of does the legwork on your behalf. These aggregators are people like Ditto Music, CD Baby, TuneCore, Bandcamp, Horus Music, Fresh Tunes, Soundrop, Root Note, Level Music, AWOL and Beat Chain. Basically, you put in all of the details, you give them the information, they push it to their related, connected associates. Some work with Spotify directly and will immediately get you artist access, some don't. Spotify promotion, how to get more followers. As with anything on social media, you need to reach out to people and bring them in. You need to do a bit of legwork. You can't just sit there and do nothing. There are things that you can do, simple as the Spotify codes, things that you can scan, that when you're at gigs or when you're talking to friends, you can hand them a Spotify code for them to scan. They then immediately follow your profile or a playlist. You can make your own playlists to get you associated with other people's music, so people can find you, your genre, listen to you, get used to you. The more they listen to you, the more they like you, and then they follow you. Offer incentives. If you know people within your social sphere, if you happen to be on social media, if you've got fans, if you're on Twitter, give them something in return, whether it's a retweet, whether it's a like, whether it's interaction, because you need to engage with your audience and your audience can then engage with you. So you can talk to them at your gigs, you can talk to them at events, you can, once again, pass around your details. The more you interact, the more they buy into you, the more they're likely to go and find you on places like Spotify. And of course, you can always do your additional legwork outside of Spotify. Write blogs, promote yourself on YouTube, create your own videos that way. Spotify artists. Now this is something that you need to immediately apply for to add a little bit of professionalism to your profile. Just like on YouTube, there is a way for people to identify, to know that that is a specific artist. An original content creator, someone that is actually creating their own stuff. You will be able to submit your songs. These songs can then be added to playlists and new lists and new weekly and discovery things. You'll be able to upload promo images, you'll be able to upload your bio, update things, make it look much more professional, because you need to take yourself seriously if you want others to take you seriously as well. And more importantly, you get to look at the stats of who is listening to your music, where they're from, what they're listening to the most, and then you can use that information to maybe craft your music, craft your direction, understand your demographic a little better. Spotify codes. Now, I've mentioned this previously. These are little scannable sound waves that you can link to specific things. It could be your profile, it could be your playlists, it could be a specific song. It's a good way to help people find you. Sometimes you could be at an event and they can't be bothered searching for your name, but if they scan something with their phone using the app that they already use, much easier, takes the legwork out of it. You could also intrigue them by creating your own playlist, predetermined for them, and they go, oh yeah, I've got that, that'll help you. I've got something that you can listen to. I listen to this when I'm studying. I listen to this when I'm, traveling. You can create your own playlist, put in your own little songs, mix it with other things, have them scan it. They've now got your playlist. They'll listen to your playlist. That helps you in the Spotify world and search traffic. Making playlists. This is a way to expand your footprint. The more playlists you have, the easier or the more chances people have of finding you, your music, your profile, and hopefully connecting with you and following you. Your playlists can be found in search by title, by the songs within it, and once again, it's a doorway into you, your world. It can also make your profile much more active, makes it look much more professional, shows that you care, shows that you're willing to interact and engage and show how you are included within the bubble of your genre, your music, and how other audience may relate. After all, if your music's a bit emo-y or a bit country music-y or a bit acoustic, you can mix it all in. People can go, oh, I really like this Ed Sheeran song and it runs into this. What's this? Oh, it's a new artist. Brilliant. Follow. And if you craft a fantastic playlist, you can keep on listening for forever, or at least fall in love with your style of playlisting. I'll give some examples of those shortly. Getting yourself on playlists is possibly one of the most important things. The more people add you to a playlist, the more people can find you. The more you are associated, the more active you are, the more Spotify sees that you are being spread around and might find you or promote you or discover you weekly. One of the ways you can boost your chance of being added to a playlist is joining the Spotify Artist Program, as noticed previously. It makes you look professional, they know that you are a registered artist and they're more likely to promote that because obviously it's been guaranteed that it's you and your stuff. If your profile looks professional, people are going to trust you and add you, or be like, well, okay, how have I never found these before? I'll start listening to them a little bit more and add you to playlists to discover you and learn your style. Now, as mentioned previously, you can use aggregators to get yourself on Spotify if you're independent. If you're using DistroKid and CD Baby, they have a direct connection with Spotify and immediately welcome you in to the artist program. So therefore, it's a trusted environment. It understands that these people connected. Once again, it might give you a lift within the Spotify world. You can go out of your way to hunt yourself onto playlists. Find playlist curators, people that actively make playlists. Indie Mono, for example, have their way of submitting your own track to see if they're willing to put it on playlists. The more you hustle, the more you communicate, the more you talk, the more you let people know you exist, the more likely they are to give you a try and put you on playlists. And when they do, share their playlists, let them know that you've seen it, you're willing to share it out. It could be anyone, it could be one of your fans, it could be a random stranger that adds you to a playlist, or it could be that you get put on some kind of Indie Mono list or a curator's playlist, a weekly list or a discovery list. Share that playlist, get it out to as many people as possible, because if it is a fan, that's a little thank you to them, and if it is a bigger playlist, then it's promotion for you, more eyes, more ears. Now, when you're creating playlists, you want to hook people in and keep them listening for a period of time. The longer, the better, and you just want to discover an experience, an audio wonder, so, they keep coming back and using you. The wonderful guys at Open Mic UK suggest that you theme it, maybe mix in artists that are very similar to you, very similar sounds, very similar styles. Consider the length of the playlist. What's that playlist for? Do you want to compile something that could be an album length, 10, 15 songs, and intertwine it with some of the popular artists? There's Ed Sheeran, there's my similar track. That happens to be Plan B, there's my similar track. Do you want it to binge? So therefore you're listening to it while you're studying or getting ready to go out. You want it an ongoing soundtrack for a couple of hours. There's around about 50 songs there. Or maybe you want it an all-day playlist, something that can play in the background of an office, right? Then you're looking at around about 350 or more tracks. So you can compile it that way, you can weave it in, you can lift them up and take them down, you can set moods within that playlist. Consider theming them. Someone might want to listen to all Halloweeny stuff, so put all spooky sounds together. Maybe they're getting excited and they're getting ready for a wedding, they want to hear lovey-dovey songs and things that remind me of you. Maybe they need something high tempo, something that they can run to in the gym, or something angry, something they can shout to with rock music. The more you think of their experience, the more likely they are to use your playlist, save your playlist, save you, find you as an artist and follow. Podcasts. Now, you can listen to podcasts on Spotify these days. In fact, Spotify purchased Anchor, which is an aggregator that pushes podcasts to platforms such as Spotify. I know that because I've got my own podcast, which is the Start Creating podcast. Podcasts can be a great way of learning your niche. So if you want to go out there and understand and learn tips on how to songwrite and the history of music and the history of your genre, maybe find new artists or learn from up and coming stars, then why don't you hunt out some of the top podcasts in your niche? The Open Mic UK team have a selection that you might want to check out. The Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Mal, Dissect, Song Exploder, Hip Hop Saved My Life, the Independent Music Podcast, Broken Record, Soul Music, Microphone Check, Couch Wisdom, or maybe even Animax's Mini Mix. This way you get to learn from the industry experts, you understand how the industry works, get some songwriting tips and just fill your head full of knowledge. The differences between Apple and Spotify. Now this seems to be the ultimate battle. Brand versus reach. Basically, Apple being one of the biggest and long-standing brands versus Spotify that has a wider audience when it comes to free access. Spotify has over 100 million paid subscribers. That's twice the size of Apple. Apple is bigger in the US with 28 million subscribers, but Spotify does have a free-to-air tier, which you hear adverts in between. So once again, anyone can access it. You can hear it via a browser, you can hear it via a console, whilst Apple, you have to download their app on their phones. If you're choosing to, you can transfer your music from Spotify to Apple at any time. There are apps to do so, so you can transfer from Spotify Music to Apple Music. They both help up-and-coming artists. So Apple has their own Beats One radio, while Spotify have their Discover Weekly and New Music playlists, which they spin and push towards subscribers, just to, freshen up your ears. At the end of the day, it's fairly even, it's all down to your own personal choice. But you need some way to distribute your music, and Spotify seems to be in many more hands right now. It's up to you. For more tips on pushing your music out on social media and tips from the Open Mic UK team, there's a playlist here. Go out there, start creating.